Just for your ease, I started the initial, what do you say, the installation now, so that everyone will have a fair idea about how to get the Jira installed. If you would want, Ananti, you can start installation from your end as well. Okay, but just wanted to show for all so that it would be easy for them as well. Yeah. Huda, Karthik mentioned it's about Manoj, I think. It's not me. So I'm Mahesh, just for your information. Yeah, actually, yes. Because of this cyclone, right, there's a lot of power outage and internet connectivity is not that great these days from last 1 week. Yeah. So I'll ask Manoj to get back to you or the team to send out an email. Okay. So this one is a hosted version. It's on cloud. Okay. So you will need to give your valid credentials. It will create a cloud version for you, and then you can access it anywhere from any of the systems, not just this system, anywhere. Okay. Yeah, this is the latest one, 7.6. Okay. We are installing Jira, Khalija. 1 second. No? I'm just changing some settings. That's a wise decision. Um, but yeah, okay. We'll have it this as an offline discussion, but surprising to hear, and the confidence you set on us is too great. Thanks for that. Okay, so once the installation is completed, right? So you should go to the respective place, the folder where the installation has been done, and start your Jira service. Okay, and once done, come back, and then you rerun it. The installation will continue. Okay. So as okay, so let's set up the administrative account for you for your reference as well. Remember these details. Okay. Yeah, same. All right. So let me do it. This particular account details you should remember because this particular ID is the admin, right? So if at all you will have to access or create any users or change anything in the flow, it should be done with using this account. If your trial version is expired, okay. For that, that's a different track. I cannot tell it on the webinar. Okay. All right. Is there a password for what, Ananti? You need to set up your password while installing, right? You will give your, actually for downloading you will have to give your user ID and password. So that password you can use it for as admin as well. Okay. Okay, the website you should go is atlassian.com/software/0/download. This is the one. Which one do we choose, server or data center? Anything. You choose server actually, it would be better. Okay, Asha is asking, is it not an open source tool? See, there are two types here. The one we are using is a server based thing. Okay. Uh, so this one will support both open source projects and the normal commercial tools as well. Okay. Yeah, you should go to this link, Sabha. Okay, let's get started. Okay. Now there are Jira comes as an it has an inbuilt advantage. Okay. So, say suppose there's an existing tool, whichever is which you are already using. Okay, you can import all the existing data from the other tool as well. But this one we need not worry because it's more of admin task. But just for your information, it supports that. Okay. Now for us, create a new project. Okay, now if you see, you got multiple development types. So Scrum, Kanban, and basic software development. Okay, Kanban is also one type of agile. Can you elaborate it, please? Which one, Asha? Okay, say suppose I'm already using any test management tool already. Okay, it can be any other tool. Okay, and now you want to shift to Jira. Say suppose I'm already using Bugzilla, it's an open source. I want to have my entire test management in one single tool. Okay. Now I would want to import all the existing defects that are already placed in Jira, and if I want to import them, then I can use this option. So now we'll use Scrum based development model. So I'll click on next. If you go back, you got project management, process management, and task management. Okay. Please select project management if at all you would want. See, generally, Jira can be used as a task management. Say you are having a customer support project and you want to track the tickets that are raised by the customers who contact the contact or the customer care. So you can use this particular tool for that as well. Okay, and process management is like I have an escalation process that is defined. Okay, say suppose I need to have an installation process defined wherein any new resource coming into the project, if he or she want to generate a system request, he will go to the tool, Jira tool, and will raise for the request. Then it should go to the network admin, and then it should also raise a request to the respective project managers and the respective approvals stakeholders. So this process, if you want to define, you can use this particular application as well. Okay, so it can be used for your entire product management, the process management across the it's like for all domains and platforms. If you want to maintain a common process, you can use this. If you are specifically looking for your particular product management, you can use product management. All right, so let's do for a basic software, or you want to let's do it for Scrum. People might confuse because we haven't had the agile testing class, right? So shall we go with the basic software development or Scrum? Basic. Everyone else? Preferred Scrum, basic. Okay, let's do this way. We'll start with basic and then we'll also continue with the Scrum as well. Today we'll do with the basic and the next class we'll do with the Scrum. Alright? Kushal? Yes? Okay. Alright. So I'll do with the basic software. So if you see, this is the basic flow that will come here. So as we said earlier, what would be the status for any task that will be assigned? It should be first to do, then when we start it, it will be in progress, and whether if once done, it should be moved into in review, and then it will be marked as completed. Okay, that's the basic flow. Okay, now if you would want to change that, how to get it done, I'll show you later. All right, but at this moment, this is the basic flow, or this is the basic progress definition that you will have, right? Simple way of telling is, I have a requirement. Okay, first I'll mark it as to do. I'll create all the requirements, I'll mark them as to do. Next, if I start one requirement, which means I'm moving it into in progress. Then once it is what the entire requirement analysis is done, it should be reviewed on the understanding with the all stakeholders. Once that is done, you will mark it as completed, which is nothing but done. Alright. If you would wish to change the naming conventions of all these, you can do, and that's an admin task. Alright. And you got other basic issue types, like these are, if you see, epic or task, subtask, new feature, improvement, these are all Scrum based terminologies, but you are using it in the basic also. So if you want to change the types you are having here, you can do it. But generally, you will have a epic, which means new feature epic, which means the entire master requirement. Under that, you will have new features, or if an existing requirement is there and you would want to do an improvement, you can do it. Or if you would want to have a task defined for it, and then a subtask, or it can be a bug as well. All right. So these are few issue types or the few definitions. If you would wish to change, you can do it later on. Okay. So we'll use it for any auth. Alright, so if you see, you got products as any auth here. Okay, and then if you would want to create users, the basic thing for everyone is you'll have to create users, right? Because without users, who will be leading? You cannot create any of it. So just go to user management. Confirm the admin access. So the basic admin access, you got it here. Alright. Now see, this particular product is for the internal, right? Now, which means the communication has to happen within the project, right? So now if you would want to do the communication, so if I have to create a user, I'll give the email ID and password, and that should go as a notification to the respective user, or you'll either have to call them and notify. But the best practice is to configure the mail server so that the mail can be sent to them. At this point, I'm not that admin, so if I click on configure mail server also, it will ask for the SMTP submit or whatever the details are. So these I'm not aware, so I'm just going back to user management. If anyone is aware of how to create that, please let me know. We can do it offline, and then we'll configure all the Gmail users, so that whatever is the notification, it will get directly into your Gmail. All right. So do you want it to do that way, or is that fine, or just a create a user? I think it will become a too much of a project, but at this moment, I I I don't want to trouble everyone as well. If anyone is interested, you can do from your end as well. Okay. So let me click on create user. Tell me few IDs for which you would want to have access to this project. For those who want to have an access. Kushal is very fast. Okay, 1 second. See, if I click on send notification email, as the configuration is not done, it will not send. But let me try. Okay, sorry. Username already. Patel Kushal. And then we'll take few more. I'll create for 2 or 3. Okay, please don't mind if I'm not creating for everyone. Just check if you would have got any notification as such to your email IDs. Alright, so then done. So for all of you, the password is the same. Let me share you that as well. After this session, please ping me all the email IDs. I'll create them. Alright. So at this moment, I'm creating 3, 4 so that we'll have fair number of people here. Okay. Alright, I have fair number. We'll go back to the user management. So I got 4. Okay. Yeah. Please email to email ID, my email ID. I'll just add. I'm just sharing my email ID to all. Alright. So please share with it. After the session, I'll try to add everyone's. But at this point, this number is good to have. Okay. Now, if you see, you have never logged into this machine. So let me log into any one of the user. So I'll take Malcourse. Malcourse, please let me know if I'm spelling it wrong or pronouncing it wrong. Explore the current projects. So you can see any auth, and the lead is this particular person, right? Or is it spelled? Okay, Malcourse. I'm sorry, man. Do we create new user ourselves? No, as an admin will be doing that. But just for your understanding or to have a basic idea, I'm just showing you how to create users as well. Okay, so that you can practice at your end. Okay, let me log it back as user management. If you see now, count, right? So he is logged in once. Now, next, what are the actions? Yesterday we discussed about the read, write, right? Now, if you would want to have a grouping in the sense, say today I'm into one project, okay, and it has multiple modules, all right? So if you would want to create group level group level users, you can do it. So I'll have a new one, add group. I want a database tester group. Okay, I'm adding it. I got it. Now I want to add members to it. So click on edit members, add selected users. So how will I use? I'll add Ananti and me as a project lead. Select, add selected users. Right? So for the particular group, who are the members? Those have been added. Got it? So you understood the purpose? Why groups again? Yes, no. Yes. Totally lost, Khadija. What was that? Yes. The purpose is to track the tasks, respective person's tasks, and to create an effective dashboards. Yes, correct. You're right, Malko. Khadija, you're lost for what? very behind. All right. See, others who are very silent, please let me know if it's getting confused or you are not able to understand. All right. The purpose of this training is to everyone to come onto the same page. All right. So any questions, please post me. All right. I'll try to answer them. Okay. So what should I select in the server? Please follow this video after this session and then you can install it. Okay. I think you are installing parallel to this discussion. You will get confused. Follow this video, then later do it. All right. So this is about user management. Now going back. So the next task will be you will have to create projects. Right. Now in this project you got multiple categories. So what are all the categories you got? Database testers, database testing, all the database activities will be handled. You got it? Then functional testing. All functional testing activities will be handled. So if you see on a high level, right, when we do the requirement analysis, we will do based on the respective technology or the purpose of that particular functionality, right? So not all will be a database tester or not all will be a functional tester. So if you want to differentiate the users, you will have to define respective tasks. That means respective requirements. So which will be going into the respective projects. Okay, so that whenever you will have to tag your test case or requirements, you will tag it to the respective project. So that when I want to see what is the effort or what is the budget I'm scheduling or projecting to the database activities, I can easily go and look into the database testing where I can see my resources, what is the effort that they are spending on it, so on and so forth. So are you able to see that big picture or you are getting confused? Yes, no? Others, I see is silence so far. Yeah, okay. See, we sit in different locations. Unless and until you say yes, it means you didn't understand. I cannot go ahead, right? Okay, all right. Now, projects is done. Now let's start creating the issues. Yes, Asha. So you might be confused now, but when you start working on the actual testing, you'll understand which particular thing you are into, which project, what's your role in it, so on and so forth. Okay. Yeah. So Nupur, yes, we are basically setting the guidelines for testing project. I agree that these are not the actual testing activities. It's more of project management activities. But I mean, it's better to have these knowledge because sometime soon you will also act as a manager, right? All right. Okay. Now coming back. Ruxana is having a question. Do each group perform different tasks under this program? Yes. So as a see again under testing you got multiple what to say applications. You can be acting as a database tester or as an ETL tester or a web services tester or a functional tester, right? So each group or each kind of testing only the respective user should be able to see. Okay, unless and until you are an integration tester or a test lead, you need not worry about other team activities. All right. So simple thing is, say suppose I have a defect, okay, and I have assigned it back to developer. Now once the developer fixes it, whom should he assign back? It should be assigned to the respective tester itself. If not, if he assigns it to any other group, okay, he can do it because there's no constraint defined on it. If we define now this constraints, just like we define the projects and project categories, right? He cannot add any other user of different project. If he tries to add also, it will throw an error message saying that, hey, this particular user is of this different project, so he cannot be added. So if you have such constraints defined earlier, there will not be a confusion at all. It's as simple as that. We had a discussion on CMM level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 5 is what? It's very process defined and very clear and crisp, where who should be doing what is clearly defined. The same I'm trying to depict in this particular product as well. Alright? So in order to reduce all the confusions, any issues going forward in the future, let's do the cleanup task earlier phase itself. Okay? So that's the purpose of having this discussion. Okay. Now let's go. So we'll have a new feature. So you see the type of issues we got. So now I got a new feature, add issue type. If you would want to add any issues, extra ones, you can add. Okay. So someone who already know about the Scrum, right? You generally talk in terms of stories, right? So that's the reason already for the basic we got this kind of issues. So if you want to have a Scrum, you can add stories instead. Alright. Scheme name. Now what is the requirement we had for any auth? The first one was login page. So let me change it to login page. Verification of login page for any auth application. So what is it? Default type is, it's a new feature. I'm saving it. I got it here, right? Now if you want to associate it to a different thing or you want to associate it to a subtask, okay, any auth, this is a project, this is a project for which I want to associate. So I'm selecting the project. As I have only one project, it's getting only one project is shown. Say suppose I'll create another project. So let's see how it goes. So I'm creating another project, basic software, or let's do it as a Scrum one so that you can see both. Scrum. If you see here, you see story is there. Earlier in the basic one, what are the different issue types you saw was different. and in a Scrum based, the type of issues are different. So you can see the difference here, right? Okay, what's the project here? Any automation. Oh, some error which for this. Okay. I'll investigate it on later. Uh, there's some issue here. Okay. So going back to the association. Oh, it's created here, but somehow. Okay. So issues. Going back to issue. Login page. Edit. Date. And then coming back to login page. I would want to associate to a separate project, right? So I'm just going to any automation. Now you saw the different projects. I can associate to the multiple projects because any automation, it has to do the login page as well, right? So I'm associating it to both of them. Okay. See, now if you see, I got for which products this particular page has been on. Okay. Yes. So Asha, yes. For some Scrum based, they will call it as story instead of new feature. Okay. They deal only in terms of stories. That's the naming convention. We in waterfall or V model we call it as requirement. Here they call it as stories. Okay, fair enough. Now, I don't want to confuse you guys more. Okay, so I'll stop here. In the next class, by next class, you have to install this particular application. Come back to us. You create your own projects as well as users, and then we'll start discussing about how to map, how to create requirement, how to create sub requirements, both in normal development model as well as Scrum, so that you can see the differences in both of that. Okay. You remember the workflow that was defined earlier? It has how many steps? Right? Do you remember this? Now if you go back to Scrum, you had only 3 steps, right? to do, done, in progress. If you would want to change the flow, you can do it. Now if I want to assign it to some one project. So what is it? For all these, I will have to assign the same process, right? So I'm doing it done. So I'm finished. So I'm assigning the same process to all. Whatever is the issue type, the same flow should be there. So create one, get it done, and then final one is done. That's it. So that's the flow. Any task, it should be first to do, then it would be in progress, and then done. Okay, so that's how I'm defining for this particular Scrum based project. If I'm using any Scrum as a Scrum project, my flow will be what do you say? I forgot. To do, in progress, and done. Only three. I will not have anything else. If I want to change it, then I can go and create a new workflow. I can change it, or if I want to, and then I'll assign it to the respective project, wherein all the issue types you will get, and you will have to map it to the respective issue types. Okay. Again, I'm reiterating, these are more like admin tasks, but for the benefit of us to understand how the flow is, it would be better if you know all these things. Or you might be interested in moving into an admin. Okay. Okay. So you tell a story as an epic. What does an epic mean? There was a question from Hudak, and what is an epic? So a general question to all of you. We'll say that this is an epic. What does the meaning of epic? What is the meaning of epic? In general, not plain English. Yes, it's a collection of stories, right? Do you know any epics that you have read? Yes, in India we have Mahabharata, Ramayana. Uh, yes, Gilgamesh. Yes, right. So what is that? They're all collection of one or more stories, right? Related stories. The same way, if I have a master requirement in this particular Jira, we call it as an epic. Okay, under epic you will have new features and new tasks, new subtasks. What to say? You have a enhancement to it, and you will have a bug which is existing, which might become a new feature or a new task. Okay, so these are all part of your epic. Okay, now you got Huda. So story is equal to requirement and multiple requirements is equal to epic. Yes, story is Scrum, more of Scrum, and then requirements are more of normal test development, and epic is Jira terminology. These are just terminologies. You need not worry about them, more about them. As and when you start working on this live projects, you will have a fair idea about what it is. Okay. At this moment, understand the tool. Yeah. Yes, Lizzie, we can call it as a parent in a parent-child relationship. Yes. Correct. Correct way of putting it up. So what you do is today, you install this try to create users and then projects and try to navigate into the entire application. Okay, so that's tomorrow. Whenever we jump into few of the screens, you will have some fair idea. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, I have not received previous videos of manual testing. Can you please ask the team? Okay. Nupur, can you mail me back? I'll forward it to the team. Or you can directly reach to sales.elearn at the rate of itelearn.com. Yeah. Okay. From your perspective, this is Suda's question. From your perspective, which one is more user friendly? ALM and Jira. Jira is more user friendly, but when it comes to the product perspective, I would support ALM because ALM has end to end, in the sense right from requirement management till the submission of the project to the client. You will have everything in ALM. The problem with Jira is you will not have a complete picture on your left side, in the sense in the left pane. If you click on project, your respective project, you will see the issues and then the respective tasks and so on and so forth. It will be drilled. But in ALM, right, at one shot, it will be grouped by the testing activities. Okay, and it's the plain testing terminology which we will be easily able to relate. And the way the user management is done, the reports are generated are more clear and crisp in ALM than in Jira. But ALM is very heavy. It's a what do you say? You need to do a lot of customization in ALM according to your project. Whereas here it's just like simple way of doing in Jira. All right. If you are mastering, or if you are working in a bigger projects, you will have to be using ALM because it supports multiple projects, multiple what do you say, multiple reporting formats, and addition or deletions are very easy there. Here it is a bit complicated in Jira. This is lighter version, to be fair, to be telling a simple one. Jira is lighter version. ALM is huge. So the assignments for today is install Jira, create users, and create projects. Yeah, you can send on my email ID. Yeah. Again, I'm telling, I'm just reiterating. All these tools are to make our life easy. But end of the day, right, from the product management perspective, these will add a value addition. But from testing perspective, the actual testing perspective, these doesn't add any value addition. Frankly, my past experience says it's only an overhead for us on while doing the testing. Frankly speaking, in a day while we are executing, at least 45 to 1 hour we will be spending on these tools, updation of the test cases, updation of the test results, attaching the test results, so on and so forth. So every product you will have at least 1 hour spent. But from the management perspective, these tools are required because they will help in tracking the progress and looking into the reports. So generally, I would not suggest test management tool at all. That's my personal opinion. All right. Any other questions, please? Okay. So I don't see any other questions. We'll join back in the next session again. So be ready with your questions by then. All right. Thanks everyone for joining today's session. Bye. See you in the next session. Yeah, and this video will be uploaded maybe after 2-3 hours of time, because conversion will take some time. All right. Yeah. Thank you. Bye bye.